big win on the road,
Yeah.
and now going back out to face another team with a great record. Just go from there.
Well, it's halfway through it. We've played 2 of the 4. We had a 4-game road swing, and halfway through there, really happy with the way we took some things that we learned at Nebraska and didn't allow those to happen at ORU the other night. We played a more complete game, closer to 40 minutes, still not completely 40. I think we got a little closer to defining a couple of roles for some other players. I think Dev and Mal continue to do what they're doing. Jalen continuing to do what they do. Starting to find some shots for Kieran, which we need to continue to do more of. And, Taylor Thomas just cementing herself as a force off the bench, a spark for us. Kira doing a great job as a starter, and then Taylor coming in as a spark. Those 2 guys combined have turned into a really nice little rotation inside against a lot bigger players, and they've really held their own. So happy with where we're at, 2 games into the 4-game swing, and now we'll get ready to go to El Paso.
What specifically at the end of the Nebraska game, what do you got to do better as far as just –
I think it was the start.
Okay.
I think the start had to be better. I did a really bad job of managing being in the hotel for such a long day. It was an 8 o'clock start. We'd been there all day. I don't know my team well enough yet to know how to handle those, and I did a bad job. I think they played great. We had to expend so much energy. We just couldn't hit a big shot. We got great shots down the stretch. It was a 2-point game with 2 minutes to play. We don't come up with a tough rebound. We can do that better. We can rebound a little better. We can try harder to rebound. But I think we missed a couple of shots that had we not had to have so much pressure on, we might could have made. So that's valuable. We learned from that one. Sometimes you lose games and you don't learn anything, but I think we really learned something from the Nebraska game that helped us last night on the road. We were able to draw back on that. So I think Nebraska is a rugged team that we're going to face teams like that in the SEC, so we'll be able to draw back on that come January and February.
Like you said, it was still a little bit of a slow start last night, but you guys were able to overcome it. What was really the difference there?
I think that we've been through it. We've now in practice and in several games been able to say, hey, we're off to a slow start again. Here's how we got out of it last time. Let's not let it linger as long. We're going to continue to tweak the way we warm up. We've only got 11 bodies out there, so we may be warming up too long. I don't know. We're going to keep trying different things. I'm not one of these guys that's so set in a regiment that we can't change some things up until we find out what works. But I'd rather finish fast than start fast. But I'd like to play consistently throughout the 40 minutes too. So we'll smooth it out. We'll find out. We'll keep tweaking things until we figure out the right formula.
different challenge playing back-to-back? What does that bring?
Well, recovery is an important ability. Natalie Trotter will become the most important person on the road trip, our athletic trainer, making sure that I'm not playing them too many minutes or practicing too many minutes this week. And then Coach Todd Barber and our strength and conditioning, making sure that I've got the right workload going on in their legs as well. It's a unique challenge. They're both in the afternoons too. It's a little bit unique in that. So I think playing in all environments is important, because if and when you get to the NCAA tournament, those games can be anytime. They can be anytime, anywhere, and they come back on you. So I think it's going to be valuable for us. 2 quality opponents, 2 teams that have had great mid-major success over the last 10 years, and programs that are going to be well coached and well prepared.
Do you feel like having to do so many tough road games like this up front's really going to be beneficial for you down the stretch?
Man, I hope so. It's hard. It's tough. You look around and we'll have played way more road games and home games at Thanksgiving, after Thanksgiving, than most Power Fives do. But I think it is valuable. I mean, as long as we keep learning from it, whether we win or whether we lose, if we can keep learning from it, I think it will help us into December when we get some home crowds. It felt like a home game last night. Elvis Moya and his marketing team did a heck of a job getting a bus full of people to come over there. It felt like a home game. I heard the Hogs called at least 3 or 4 times, I think, Jerry. And, you just don't hear that on the road. And with the emphasis behind it, it was great.
Offensively, I know we talked about your 2 inside kids doing a really good job, doing great board work. What do you got to do to get some more people involved offensively?
Well, I think we're getting some people some shots. I think just maybe improving their confidence, that we are confident. Mal and Dev have been pretty consistent through 4 games, and we've had somebody else each game. And I think Jalen's that kid that got great shots last night. She was really frustrated at herself that a few more of them didn't go in, but she's been that consistent third person for us. I think Kiera and Taylor can score in the post against certain lineups, but Nebraska's not one of them with 2 6'5" kids and sometimes like that. But, you look at points in the paint, and we still get a lot of points in the paint. They're just with guards because we drive it in there. So I don't necessarily concern myself with who's getting the points in the paint, but how we're getting them. But I do think certain matchups, Kiera and Taylor, can really can be a benefit to us down the last part of non-conference heading into conference.
Do these two opponents this week?
They got a couple of bigs.
Okay, that's
and they're veterans. They got a junior and a senior. UTEP's got a junior and a senior inside. New Mexico State's more our size, but very rugged. So new challenge, different types. But I'm really proud of our group. As hard as it's been for us to guard those teams on one end, imagine them trying to guard Dev on the other end. And that's the thing that I keep imparting to the kids on a daily basis. If you're finding it hard to guard their big kid, make it hard to guard you on that other end. So we're looking at those balances, but we do need to get, I think, a third, fourth consistent scorer and more roles to start develop. I think we're up to about 5. We need 3 more to really develop, I think, into a solid rotation between now and Christmas.